Dutch post-impressionist painter Vincent van Gogh is perhaps one of the most well-known artists of all time. His composition, The Starry Night, is dynamic, with swirling patterns in the sky creating a sense of movement and emotion. Van Gogh employs a rich palette dominated by deep blues and vibrant yellows, juxtaposing the cool night sky against the warm glow of the stars and moon. The brushwork is expressive and thick, characteristic of Van Gogh's impasto technique, where paint is applied in a thick layer, adding texture and depth to the scene. The dominant cypress tree in the foreground reaches upward, connecting the earthly village below to the expansive cosmos above, embodying themes of life and death. Visually speaking, The Starry Night employs depth of colors, energetic brushstrokes, and meaningful contrast between the placement of shapes and objects, leaving viewers awestruck by a landscape filled with richness and vibrancy. The Starry Night may blend in real-life experiences from Van Gogh's personal life. However, most viewers of the painting are left enamored by its dreamlike quality, its representation of the universe, and its sheer capacity to capture beauty using both cool and warm notes of color. As with several historic masterpieces, we are unable to ask Van Gogh questions about the Starry Night, which results in even more questions. The world's fascination with the Starry Night is partly due to how Van Gogh may have perceived his world, which could have influenced how he painted, what he painted, and why he painted. However, even Van Gogh may not have been able to provide insight to his worldly perceptions, leaving behind masterpieces such as the Starry Night for the viewer to decipher, with his state of mind, his lived experience, and his views and beliefs about the world intertwined within the canvases of his paintings. In the Starry Night, the viewer is almost hypnotically encapsulated by the brushstrokes, as if looking at a show in the night sky. Interestingly, even though the stars are glowing in yellow, they seem to remain static. Only the sky itself is moving in swirls around the stars, almost as if to dance. Like water or wind, the swirls of the sky express motion, movement, fluidity, and freedom of expression. The brightness of the painting is elicited by the glowing moon, stars, and light from the village homes, which brings the viewer's attention to the title of the painting, The Starry Night. A viewer may associate the night with the moon and its moonlight. However, Van Gogh chose to title his work The Starry Night, giving more power to the stars as opposed to the moon, which could even be mistaken for a star in his painting. The contrast in titling his work as The Starry Night creates a magical experience for the viewer to appreciate not only his painting, but also the actual universe in which we all exist, because that's where Van Gogh wants us to focus. Van Gogh's painting is not just color on a canvas, but a mesmerizing appreciation for how magnanimous the universe truly is. Van Gogh's application of repetition in The Starry Night, particularly in the stylized way with which he has painted each element, suggests how everything is connected by the brushstrokes, the shadows, the lighting, and the channeling of movement from the sky to the village to the black cypress tree. The swirl in the sky guides the viewer's eyes in how the viewer sees the painting, following its curvature around the canvas as the swirl curves clockwise. The black cypress tree may be an elusive shadow reflection of the church and the village, each with a narrow, protruding point that stands out against the flatness of the rest of the landscape. Van Gogh may have connected the church to the black cypress tree based on his life experience, to symbolize his subconscious views, or to simply add balance to the painting's elements. Nonetheless, the black cypress tree plays an important role in the painting because of its domineering protrusion, greater abstraction, and seeming darkness in contrast to the rest of the painting, where there seems to be peace, light, and a sense of security. Perhaps there is a relationship between the Starry Night and the black cypress tree that is left for the viewer to interpret. The Starry Night almost seems like an ode to the cycles up above in the sky, and how those cycles reflect on Earth among people, places, and things. Is Van Gogh asking viewers to connect how the stars make a difference in their lives, whether knowingly or unknowingly? Are we subject to the movement of the sky above with the stars and moon twinkling, or do we just notice them as observers of the universe? What do the stars and sky above teach us about our world? Perhaps we should pay more attention to the Starry Night. This was Art Explained in 5 minutes. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and remember to follow at Thinking Artist. See you in the next one.